appetite of the people. Fell down or what? What do you want? Nothing is below.
I forgot my pen in the
Oh,
bookstore.
you want pen?
The pen?
I see on that there is any pen or something like that.
Ah,
You use that.
You don't need this one.
Okay.
So I'm going to get my book. I will be back. I got this one, but forgot my book.
you know, Swami,
Hmm?
this was published so long ago,
Hmm.
and there's not an updated version of it.
It's not an updated correction.
We should make a new version with your commentary.
Who will need that?
Maybe it will find the right ears and eyes that way.
Mother's will, mother knows this world is hers. We are only here to come here to do exercise and get our spiritual muscle strengthened. So, Ananda, when did you come?
I got here around 2:30,
That's right.
and then I
Got the key?
yeah.
You got the keys?
Yes, I got the keys and everything. Thank you very much. It's just I wish there was a fan inside, but it's not. So
Oh, there's no fan. Oh, it's so hot. Yeah.
it may get a little cooler than how it is right now, but yeah.
Where they gave you? Where?
Room right.
Room.
Yeah.
Room. Inside?
Inside.
Right to the
Right.
right
to
turn.
my- yeah. Right to my.
right turn corner.
Yes. Right turn.
That we called, our VIP room.
Oh, wow.
See the condition of our VIP.
Yeah, it is actually very
VIP
nice.
status. No fan, no air condition, and only tiny room. And that is our most VIP room. And that is the room where our presidents, vice presidents, whoever comes, that is our VIP room. You can understand how we live here. No room has air condition, excepting Swami's room had the air condition. So I am there. I use only when people come. So I live in the old room also.
Oh, you do?
That's why in my old, there is no fan, there is no.
Oh, you didn't move into it?
I moved for work purpose.
Uh-huh.
There is a bed, but it is so I don't. Resting time I go inside because it's very outside and people come anytime.
How was the Kumari Puja in Vellore? You saw it yesterday, Swamiji?
Yeah, it finished. Everything
I saw it.
is a part of the ritual.
Dayapara showed it on Sunday,
Hmm.
from 2 to 4 o'clock.
Awesome.
Yeah, so she showed it.
Those are
Kumari,
fixed.
old.
They're fixed photos.
Yeah, she doesn't want to.
Not a movie. Not a movie.
Well, it was moving.
Moving.
It was moving, yes.
Achha.
On the screen, and there was music too. And sometimes you could hear the
Yeah.
monks
Mhm.
chanting.
Yeah, right.
It was very good.
Mm.
Very, very good.
Okay, so let us go. So we are reading this Bhakti and we are the glory of the Holy Company. That was the chapter we are in. And last verse we read on 7th verse on page 128, where we read, even by the remembrance of a holy person, the very houses where they are remembered, that house becomes purified. How much more sanctified it will be if they are seen, contacted and served. This is for those who understand the value of that. Suppose so many places are there. Say one Saint Francis of Assisi. Why people go from all over the world to see the Saint Francis Assisi's This is his home and where he lived and where he did. What is that? He's dead and gone. You'll run over there to have the holy association. He's no more there, but the place is sanctified. And that's why it says, from even remembrance of a holy man, the very house where they are remembered, that means if you sit here, this house will be purified. And if you have the fortune to see him, what a deep impact it should create in the life. This is the Parikshit, the king said. Then another quotation, Vidura. Vidura on the rarity of association. What is Vidura's statement? He said, holy men who are always talking and singing about the Lord are men's guides to Vaikuntha. That means these holy men are like a guide. You go to a pilgrimage, there is a guide, or you go to see a historic place, there is a guide. So holy men are like guide. And you are always talking and singing about the Lord, that type of holy men. Those, that means always so much absorbed in God that they only speak about God and live in the thought of God and sing the glories. They are the guides to Vaikuntha. Vaikuntha means the divine plane, God's, the divine state beyond sorrow and fear. That is the plane. They are guide. They know. They guide us how to reach that track.
Who lives there? Shiva, Vaikuntha, or
Oh, Vaikuntha means God's place. Now you can think Shiva. You are a devotee of Shiva, you will think Shiva lives there. You are a devotee of Christ, you will say Christ lives there. Rama lives there. Whatever, Ramakrishna lives there. That means it is a very higher state of awareness where the divine entity, divine object, divine thing, divine state, where God and His presence are felt very actively. Opportunities of serving them are difficult to get unless men have practiced great austerities. That means this opportunity, even to serve this type of holy men, those who actually guide of human kind, that they guide ordinary people like us to the path of the divinity. That means they got realization, simple. They can lead us to the path of realization. But to get a chance to serve that type of people, that itself is a rare fortune to get. Where you will find such person, first of all, and if you get them, to serve them, opportunity to serve them, Suppose in India, if someone wants to serve our president, impossible. So many thousands of people, even to have one quick vision or darshan, we call darshan, visitation, is impossible. This time you go, he is not available. That time you go, it's not available. This is the time exactly. That time you have to be in the line and go where hundreds of people are waiting. You will be just passing by. You see the Durga Puja time now going on. Thousands of people. You want to salute the image of the Divine Mother? So you make a big line. And when you come there, just in front of the deity, everyone say, go, 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 go. So to get even a chance to see, that much is the difficulty. And to do some service, how difficult. And if one gets, that is their great result of their past karma. Opportunities of serving them are difficult to get unless men have practiced great austerities for making them worthy of it. Yeah. is to make oneself worthy of that type of service, to have the opportunity that I can get a service, get to serve them. That's a rare opportunity. And it is to be earned. Earned means you have to do some pure spiritual practice to get that chance in life. Only if it is not, then you will think it is a slavery. People are hired to do some service. No, all our hospital services, everything, all called service charge. So all service charge, you pay the charge. You pay directly or insurance pays, that's not the point. But it is paid servant. That's a paid service. But to serve even these holy people, even they do or do not know, but that to get that chance is rare, as Bhagavat says. Tat seva bhagavata kutasthasya madhudusha rotiraso bhavet tibro padoer dasanardana. By serving holy ones and thereby hearing their elevating spiritual talks and observing their pious modes of life, one gets intense and abounding love for the Supreme Being, the eternal and the changeless ones, which erases ignorance, which is the cause of all fear and sorrow. Then what remains? What people get by meditation, by prayer, by austerities? People can get that very easily if they have this type of true understanding and true opportunity to serve them. And when the opportunity comes, they are capable of handling that. They are capable of seeing that that is possible and that is really, they can do it respect, love, reverence, and in exact way. That's why when you see that many reminiscences come from old Swami's reminiscences.
The
When,
what, you know?
reminiscences.
Reminiscences.
Reminiscence. Your voice is getting very low, Swami.
So when it gets, then that time when they were with this holy man, they didn't understand that. Now they think about that. Oh, what was the past? What was the glorious days? People talk about that. So this is a good verse. That says, that is translated here in this book. Hard is to attain the good fortune of serving the saints who are the guide to the ways of heaven and by whom the Lord Janardana is constantly praised in songs. Page 49, your book.
Oh, that book.
No, not your book. I think David's book.
Oh, yes.
That book is 49. And we have read this. This is another translation,
Yes,
two types. And the next verse, 9th verse, by serving the saints, there springs a love of service to the feet of the Lord that removes the evils of life. So it is a good translation, whether this book was better translation. Holy men who are always talking and singing about the Lord are men's guides to Vaikuntha, the divine state beyond sorrow and fear. And they lead the human mind to a place where there is no sorrow, there is no fear. That is the state, what we call God realization state, or state of Brahma Jnana, we call. Opportunities of serving them are difficult to get unless men have practiced great austerities. If anyone happens to have that opportunity, you know he has something done very good thing in other life for making them worthy of it. because it needs qualification is necessary. By serving holy ones and thereby hearing their elevating spiritual talks and observing their pious mode of life as they live, one gets intense and abounding love for the Supreme Being, who is this eternal and changeless one. And that love which erases ignorance and the cause of all fear and sorrow. Ignorance, which is the cause of all sorrow and suffering. Acha. Now is the big verse, 10 to 14, 4 verses together. So what it says, wise men say that intense attachment to the objects is a bondage for the soul. That we need not have to say, our life gives, we also understand that, no? If you get intensely attached to any object in the world, that causes suffering. Anywhere attachment means pain. Attachment brings fear, attachment brings anxiety, attachment destroys the peace of mind. And that's why it is called the bondage of the soul. But when such attachment is felt for the holy man, it becomes an open it becomes an open gate to liberation. That's the other way. If that attachment goes to the holy man, and then it is releasing. Normal attachment binds it, but the spiritual attachment releases. But we have to understand, we may get deluded that we are doing spiritual attachment. It is not so easy. Spiritual attachment is a very high level of thing. When our ego gets into the way, that is not spiritual attachment. So everyone can think, oh, I love my friend or husband or wife or child as God. You talk like that. And then actually you don't, only talking, have no feeling here or no sense of identification in that level. Then it is not spiritual. And people get confused there. They think that they are spiritual relationship. That spiritual relationship is so pure, so full of joy and liberty. That makes the difference, whether it is spiritual or non-spiritual. Spiritual attachment will be fresh, releasing, pleasing, joyful, peaceful, happy. When there is some other contamination in that, in the name of spiritual relationship, that is dangerous, because that contamination leads to attachment, frustration, anger, doubt, confusion. All these negativities will be totally churning the heart. But if it is real love for a spiritual person, then it can free us from our bondage. Holy men are persons. Who are the holy men? They are the persons endowed with equanimity in all the ups and downs of life. They are full of kindness. They are friendly to all beings. Titikshava, Karunika, Surhira, Sarvadehinam. They are full of kindness, Karunika. They are friendly, Surhira, Sarvadehinam, to all beings. They are they are serene in temperament. Their nature is very shantaha. They have no enemies. Ajatu satravaha. They will have no enemy. That's why now compare who is called a holy. And you love that person. Who is not this, you love that person. Then what are you loving? There you are loving your own ego. You are getting attached to that. Unless that person is that of that category, he is not a holy man. And if you feel attached to that, then you are doing your own things and you are camouflaging it. I'm loving the holy man.
Except there are many examples of holy people, even God, becoming impatient.
No, that is the major part of their life if we observe. What is their natural state? Under certain context, they may be angry. Vivekananda may be angry, but Vivekananda is samadhisto. He is a man of total absorption in God. No, all the holy people we see in their day-to-day behavior, sometimes they are in another. What is the major naturalness of that person? 90%, 99% of time, how he lives and thinks and become. That is the point. Because there will be something. This exact characteristic, you think that there will be no enemy. It is they say. But there will be some enemy. Swami Vivekananda, had he not enemy? Christ, had he not enemy? Then who crucified? If there is no enemy, who decided to kill him? But majority, general, pure-hearted people, they see that this is the expression we find, greatest expression of godliness we find it. The Bhattiyas is serene in temperament by nature, but does not mean that they will not be different in different environment. Goodness is their only ornament. Sadhava, sadhu bhushana. Sadhu means holy. That is their ornament. Ornament is their holiness. Ornament there is their goodness. They practice unswerving devotion to me. Mayi anannena bhavena bhaktin kurvanti ye diham. They practice unswerving devotion to me without looking for any support other than me. That is very difficult. In life, everyday life, whenever we fall in some difficulty or in some situation, we try to take help of this person, that person, who can immediately do to support me. But this holy man will go inward and take refuge in the Lord only. Internally, he will be stable there, strong there. They consecrate all their actions to me. Matkrite, takta karvana. And they abandon all relatives and clansmen for my sake. Takta karvana. Takto sajana bandhava. His own friends, his own relatives, they give up. For whom? For God. Sri Ramakrishna is reading in the Gospel that one place. He says that, he's talking to him and Rakhal and others were present. He said, now mother has kept me in a situation. Who are my own? You are my own. Where is my own Ramlal? Where is that Hriday? Where is own family relation? They have become all gone. And Ramakrishna said, pointing to aims, the chronicler of the gospel, that you are my own. Relationship has changed. That means family relationship is the normal relationship in which we grew up. And we get support from the family or from the friends. But that support then shifts to God and God's people, godly people. So that change comes. They consecrate all their actions, matkrite takta karmana, and they abandon all types of activity, engage themselves. They practice unswerving devotion without looking for any support other than me. They consecrate all their actions to me, and they abandon all relatives and clansmen for my sake. The only point is that because they love God. Why they abandon others? Many people can abandon their own relative. Why? Because they don't behave with me rightly. Oh, they didn't treat me rightly. So anyone can abandon. That's no glory. That's your ego. Your ego is hurt, or you didn't get the affection, you didn't get the love, and they did, probably mom and dad in many places, they sometimes go for their other duties and or little of their own business, didn't care the children, and children grow, so I don't care for them. They abandon their parents, or parents abandon their child. There is no glory in that. What cause? Because you love God. For that reason, you could not take care of. Say our monks, monastics. In that, serving mom and dad is the greatest duty in the world. Or if you are dependent, someone is depending on you as brother, sister. But when they come to monastic life, what happens? What is the duty, responsibility, knowledge of? They abandon everything. The mom and dad raised you, spend the money to go to school, to feed you, nurse you, and then get your all education, the bills of the education, educational expenses, and now you become a monk. After getting a PhD, boom, you become a monk. For what reason? It's for what purpose? For God? God realization? Then it's meaningful. Otherwise, I am disgusted with them. Many people say, I want to be a monk. No, not for that. And that doesn't stay also. And they are not happy people. Even they come here, as a monk, they're not happy people. They cannot relish every day's being in the monastic life. What a great opportunity, what a great joy. They don't relish because their purpose is not settled. So it should be for God. That's why it says, Mat Mai Anannena Bhavena. Mat Krite. For my purpose, for doing for my Mat Tyakta Karmana. He has given up all karma, all other duties, all other responsibilities. Mat Karmana. Tyakto Sajana Bandhava. He has abandoned his sajana, his own people of relationship, and bandhava, some friends. So that's why wandering monk, when they become monk, there is nobody in the world. Look at that point. Now Ramakrishna mission has come. That's why the lifestyle has become different. You leave one home, but you enter into another home. But you suppose just 5-6 decades or even 10 decades, say Sri Ramakrishna's before this mission was established, everyone used to go wandering monk. As soon as you get out of your home, in the whole world, who knows you? Where is your friend? What will you eat? Where will you sleep? What is the next day if you fall sick? It's only God, only God. That is the India's greatness. that you shift your dependence from one to other. But if out of frustration, I didn't like my mom, oh, they went for their own fun and leave me alone. Hmm? What they did for me? So that's why I am becoming a monk. That will result in zero. You are doing for a reaction, but not for love for God. Your criterion should be that yes, whatever they did or this is not the point. My point is that I am abandoning takto sajana bandhava. It's a very beautiful idea. It is sajana and bandhava you give up. For what reason is the question? If that is not clear, then it is a camouflaging your spiritual life. There is no, it is worldly life in the making it a show like spiritual life. Your renunciation is wrong, you're fake, your whatever you are doing all fake. Because the purpose, the integrity of life, dependence on God. God is the only. Here in this present context of our this movement, here that's why it becomes little difficult. People forget the idea of total surrender to God. Here there is a room, we leave one room, we get another room here. We drive our car, we drive a society car. Here is that food, there is in the home, here is some other food is available. Apparently, not big change comes unless internally that student is very alert. And it's a responsibility. Every day, this every monk should think, or renunciate should think, why I am here? What is the purpose? Why I abandon all my responsibilities and duties? They are good people in the society. They are not monks or nothing. They are slaving for the whole day, earning money, helping the family to start. There are some people even in the home. The whole life they earn everything to support their family, means a brother or someone is sick in the family, some sister has some health problem. Their whole life to serve. They are much better people because they are unselfish. So bhakti, the criterion should be fixed. Otherwise, selfishness, it can be a selfishness. You abandon all your duties and you enjoy yourself. That's all. You don't care for anything what is going on here and there. So this verse, he gives hints like that. It is tyakta karmano, tyakta sajana bandhavaha. That is the third verse. And then what they do? Madasraya. They consecrate all their actions to me. They engage themselves in hearing of and discoursing on my glories, attributes, and actions which purify all who hear them. Madasraya, kathamrishta, sinnanti, kathayanti cha. And they do, they tapanti, vividhastapa, naitan madgato chetosa. No etan madgato chetosa. So they practice unswerving devotion to me without looking for any support of them. They consecrate all their actions to me. They abandon all relatives and clansmen for my sake. They engage themselves in hearing of and discoursing on my glories, attributes, and actions, that which purify all who hear them. God's message is such, that's why we read every time the gospel reading, your glory, your message is like a nectar and bliss showered in the pain-stricken lives of the suffering humanity. So it soothes the suffering humanity, the mind of the people. So who can enjoy the glories of God. That's why you see, glories of God, how many people are all listening? There is no one to hear. There is no time for this. Those who are devoted to me are never worried of various ills of life. Vividhastapta noetan mad tapanti vividhastapta noetan madgato chetus. Whose mind is devoted to me, they are never worried by the various ills of life. In life's journey, good comes, bad comes. It may affect them momentarily, but they ultimately can settle that, okay, whatever happens, they get the support, inner support on God. Those who are devoted to me, the persons who have abandoned all worldly attachment are holy men. Tayuva sadhava saddhi sarvasanga vivarjita. You understand them, they are the sadhu or sarva sanga vivarjita, sadhava sadhvi. They are the holy men and women. Sadhava is the who are sadhus, men. Sadhvi is the women. So they are called the holy men and women. They sadhava sadhi, who sarva sanga vivarjita, who can live the life of detachment from all types of relationship. Detached from all types of relationship.
Swamiji, that comes very gradually. Detachment sometimes evolves very gradually.
Yeah, but
I guess when you decide to become a monastic, then by that time you have more than accomplished, right? The detachment.
Yeah, well, should be, but to hold on, there is a risk. You may come here with an inspiration, you are detached for a moment, and that is the moment someone has jumped out of this life which is attached life to the money, wealth, prosperity, name, fame, power. But you jump out of it, and then that mood we forget sometimes in the flow of life. Yeah, intensity goes down. That's why Hori Maharaj, Brahmananda and others used to say, intensify the practice. Pray, pray, pray. Intensify the practice. Do your sadhana. Why? To keep up that standard. Detachment. Same detachment. With the detachment you have left your home. The day you left, the mind, you are carrying your mind. In that mind, you forget about any relationship. You are only attracted to Sri Ramakrishna. And that purity, that type of uplifted mental condition. People get it, undoubtedly. And that force is so much, he cannot stay in the home. Or she cannot stay in the home. Force them to come out. That is the great sign, at least good karma. But to maintain that. So that's why regular spiritual practice, regular, Ramakrishna said, holy company, regularly listening to it, regularly to watch where am I getting attached. Am I depending on God more? No. We have Swami Sarvadevananda sometimes used to say towards his later part. Somebody says, oh, man, if it happens, who will look after? Well, do you think I have become a monk looking after you or me? Have I become like that? The day I became a monk, I thought that, oh, someone will be there to do all these things. That is the inner spirit. They may take some service outside, but their inner feeling is so strong. They think it is God is providing to them. But I know some of the devotees, brutally, because taking too much advantage of that, some is brutally discarded. It's at least we could not believe that getting too much. Those who serve, they take little control. And when too much control, then one day it snapped. Religious thinking is inevitable. His service is so much needed, and Swamiji depends on that day and night. So do you think that I have become a monk for that? Okay. Stop. Jump. So that is the inner strength. What I am saying, that is the inner power is that. If you depend on someone, then you are not depending on God. Inner spirit should be. Whatever happens, God is, you may think God has sent this service to me for my protection. Okay, you take it. But when there is attachment and too much control, there is a power inside. Those who are sadhus just cut.
Swami, I wanted to ask, when you say too much control by whom? By Swamiji over person who's helping or the person who's helping?
Those you people serve me, then what will happen? Then you will try to control every point.
Yeah.
What do you do? Now you have to do this. Now you have to do. No. Sometimes it is good. Swamiji used to eat sweets, and then they say, no, it is diabetic. No, Swami, you should not eat. And then lastly I saw, when someone told like that, if you say so, I will take one. I used to take 20. I'll eat. Let me see what happens. Oh, who are you to tell me? He got so irritated, and that irritation raised in every area, and boom. That is the strength of a sadhu. No, sadhu should not depend on anybody. If you do that, you are not a sadhu. There are many people in the world. What is the difference between you and that? And he said, do you think that I have become a monk, depending that you will serve me and you will do all these things? But many times people get overwhelmed with that. They lead like a household life then. Persons who have abandoned all worldly attachment, they are the holy people. Association with them, sangasteshu athate prarthya. Therefore, association with them is always desirable. One should expect that type of sadhu, who have that inner guts, inner strength. And because it helps one to liberate oneself from the bondage of worldly attachment. Sanga dosho apohrahite. The dose, the defect of this association, attachment, they cut that help us to cut. So that is a beautiful verse, Baba. This 10 to 14 are really.
Swami, is the attachment there that you're talking about due to the ego of the sadhu or the ego of the person?
If sadhu has attachment, he is not a sadhu.
Yeah.
that he is saying.
Right.
His attachment is with God. But it is encouraging us to go to that sadhu to get advantage that our attachment goes away. But when I go and I want to serve him, then what I do? Then naturally, if I become attached instead of detached,
Yes.
and I become not spiritually evolving, rather my spiritual evolution is being stopped or barred. So that is not sadhu. That is the dangerous point. And there comes all this control and attachment. Everyone controlled. Everyone. There is the defect. Hridayaram loved Thakur. What he didn't do, actually we would not get Ramakrishna had there not been Hridaya. That's why Hridaya used to say, hey Mama, you have become big. Where would be your all these things had I not taken care of you? He used to burden Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna used to terrified always. That is the showing how God incarnate person cries. And one time Ramakrishna wanted to commit suicide, drowning into the Ganga because of the torture of Hridaya. There is a glaring example. Sri Ramakrishna was sitting in his room and one lady has brought some pumpkin or something.
Cauliflower.
Huh?
Cauliflower.
Cauliflower. And that, and Hridaya, he said, Thakur was saying, hey, you hide it. Now Hridaya will come and he will catch me that I have told you to bring her. I didn't tell you, Baba. I didn't tell you. He was talking like, and Hridaya came. And he got bombarded on him. Ma, you do that, you do that. Baap. You see, mother. When it happened, goes to the extreme at one point. And when he was forbidden to enter into the Dakshineshwar campus, and one day he came to see, but he was waiting outside the gate, and somebody informed that Sridhar is waiting for you. Thakur said that, okay, you people sit. Sridhar has done so much for me, but he has also caused so much suffering for me. Let me go and see him. And he went out of generosity, out of love, showing that's why that's why they are God. Ordinary person cannot think of it. And then torture. If these people get tortured, then how the service people take advantage of that? It didn't happen with him only, but with others. And we can cite many incidents. Holy Mother used to live. Sometimes the Joginma and Golabma. Out of the Golabma was very soft spoken.
Jogging was
Soft. So Golabma used to be cat. Ma, you should not do. You don't control your children. Your children are doing like that. You getting me mantra to these people and they are like this. See, they're drunk, they're this. See, Ramakrishna's children. It's bombarding because they take advantage, because they serve. So there are many examples what actually this dangerous things. That's why to serve with detached outlook. That's why service is an idea. It is said that what you serve not for your enjoyment, whatever will be needed for whom you are serving, that should be your focus. And you should detach from everything. That's called ideal type of seva or service.
So now tell me that you gave that example that when he was having the sweet and then he had diabetes and then the person who was serving the sadhu, he said that don't take that one because you have diabetes. So she or he, whoever, the service person, attendant, check what is good for that.
What is good for that you are telling. He is a baby. You are forgetting that he is the guru. You are forgetting that he is a 70, 80 years old man. He has wise understanding. He understands things. If it is bad, he understands. He takes the responsibility. You say one time, oh Maharaj, you remember doctor said that. You smilingly say and let go. Who are you to control? You are so good, you know more than the person. He is an idiot. You are serving an idiot. So if you think that he is an idiot, then your love is why you are going to serve him. Then you are getting attached. Same, very critically if we analyze, it becomes very spontaneously clear. If you think that he is an idiot, I am trying to help him for his good. So okay, if you help him, do. But you are thinking, and you are thinking that he is such idiot that he does not know what is bad for him. So it is an idiot person and a rogue and a selfish gluttony person who loves his tongue. So you think that person, then why are you going to serve him? Philosophically, you should not be there. See, you are hiding, you don't understand your weak point. Somebody in the birthday, somebody brought, birthday celebration was over. And Swamiji was eating that time. Mostly, almost people have gone. He was eating last time. One lady came from a long distance. She was in the traffic. And he came and he was crying. He said, "Oh, Maharaj, could you give it to Maharaj? At least show him that I brought it from such a distance." And she said, "No, it cannot be given. It's all done. Why didn't it come?" And Maharaj suddenly was overheard from where is the outside the door, and he was sitting in the chair where I sit now. That much distance, he overheard. He asked somebody, "Hey, call that lady who is come. There you go. Give what you have brought. Give me now." Yes, you don't understand the sentiment of a person who, out of love, prepared something. In the traffic, he is jammed, and he is really sincerely crying to offer something, and you know my good, and you looking at the superficial side, everything is closed. Why no? Why did you come late? Okay, and you don't understand the relation. He is also her guru. Hmm? You don't honor the other person, and you think that he is an idiot. He does not understand his good. So you are to be the controller of that Swami. That destroyed many institutions. In the private centers, if you go, those who private means I am not, Ramakrishna order is little different because they don't allow like that. They snap at certain point, and when they snap, they don't look back. I have seen he didn't look back for quite a time, and only just before death, once or twice I saw him. He has come, say ha ho, that's all, to give a lesson. So, but in outside center, this becomes the cause of all problem. They think I possess this Swami. I take control of the Swami. You come, hey, no, go out. Only I am sitting here. I am with him. That's okay. But you come for 1 minute, get out. He's now resting time. This is not the time to see. Control, 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 control. And that actually those who are not careful, they get into it, and then it destroys the entire spiritual wealth of, or the tradition. Mostly, very important. Even in household life, I have seen devotees who are lovers of God. They don't want to take any control. No one to control them. I want for freedom. I left my home for freedom. Now I am getting control again. And that's very difficult, painful for them to have a little trace of control. And if you think that he is so idiot, then then also your argument should be, I should not be associated with that idiot. Why shall I go to near him? He's such a dull idiot, does not understand that one sugar will increase if he takes 2 rasgulla. And I told him, and that he is not understanding and is talking about this. You may get flared up, you can fight. But you don't do that because you don't know. He has his sense. He has the guru of so many people. He understands everyone's psychology. He is giving peace to so many people and he does not know what he is doing. If you have that much faith, then don't go to that person. It's a poison for you because it destroys your faith, your trust on that person. So you are not getting any benefit out of that. It's a very, very, very subtle area to understand.
It's very subtle, but so important.
But most of the time, it is very difficult to grab that idea.
Yeah.
It's very, very, very complicated area.
Yeah, the way that because in one of the stories that Ramanujan's Ramanuja is a devotee, right? He is a father devotion. And his nephew or his cousin brother was Govinda. To serve the Guru like that, so he would make the bed for his Guru and then he would roll himself on the bed first. So then Ramanuja watched it and then said that, don't you know that you shouldn't sit on your Guru's seat or lie down on Guru's bed? It's a sin, great sin. You shouldn't do that. Why are you rolling on the bed of your Guru? Then he said to Ramanuja, you know, after making the bed, it's not plain. So I'm rolling down on the bed first so that it gets even. And when he lies down, he will find it good. And for that purpose, if I have to accept the sin and go to hell, I'm ready for that, for his good. Now, in this area, if you say like that, doesn't the Guru know or doesn't the scripture know or something like that? Because from his point of view, he's trying
Forget that. Forget that. You are understanding that with the ordinary example. His degree of love, his degree of dedication is where? Ramanuja didn't listen to his Guru.
I'm talking about Govinda.
Govinda, whatever you are saying, Govinda is Govinda. Govinda is not anyone, is Govinda.
So who is judging?
Who judging? You should not be allowing that. Where is control, there is no spirituality. It is all selfishness. And that he is doing, it is himself doing, that he is not saying, I am so pure, you cannot sit on my bed. That does not say. Holy people don't say that. There is a devotion of the devotee.
No, in his absence, hiding, he is doing.
That's why my point is that whatever he did, to test his devotion, that incident we came to know. But normally, if anyone does like that, it is so deeper feeling. And it is not obstructing his ego, or he is not controlling the Guru. There is no, we are talking about controlling the Guru, taking the liberty of the Guru. What is there in it? If his bed is done properly, whether it is wrinkling is there or not, his body is soft body, it will be hot. No? The people are, when they are super sattvika, their body becomes very soft. So if it is not very smooth, even I have seen Premeshananda Maharaj and others, if there is one wrinkling on the bed sheet or something like that, that creates a deep mark on all their body. But it's so soft. If in the morning, because he does not move that much, old age and health. If like that for a long time, there will be a big red line, as if you scratch something, or sometimes we get our scratch like that. So that for that reason, if someone does hiding, it is not intruding into his personality. But Ramakrishna was controlled by Hridaya Ram. That's a different thing. He thinks, Hridaya Ram is thinking, I do so much for his benefit. Be pure to that level, then do others' benefit. So anyhow, this is a disaster for, and why one will be under anyone's control. Being a monk, being a renunciate person, if I wish to be under someone's control, okay, it's my wish. But why someone will be forced into that control? No one wants to be controlled in the world. And what the question of a monk who have given up his mom, dad, brother, sister? Huh? Many places, people take advantage of that and then create their miserable end. And as what happens, as they become old, they become more dependent physically. That time they take more advantage. So long they're strong, they can escape. And not always, but can escape. But when they become very sick, that is the time that, you see, claiming. You know, when last time we are going to ask some support from the devotees, you know, my mother is there. He told me, she told me directly. I said, okay, you listen this, the devotees will come. I said, no, I'll lose my independence. I'll lose dependence on mother. So I will not. And he was reluctant and did not. When hospice service came, that only, he will not take any service, much service from them, unless what is exceptionally at the fag end, last few days only.
That was a devotee here.
Devotee in San Diego.
Wow.
And she was about 100 years, and she used to see mother everywhere, Divine Mother.
Sarvadevananda Swami also, after his first surgery from cancer, like that. So then nobody was there to take him to ashrama back, but to take care of him in the ashrama. Post-surgery nursing, nobody was there. So then that's why the nurse and people from the hospital, they were not ready to release him. They wanted to know that who is going to take care of your post-surgery need. Then he could not show anyone. They said that then we are not going to release you. But he has to go home because he's done with this surgery and all this thing. Then he said that I have mother at home. So my mother will take care of me. So I'm signing the paper saying that my mother will take care. So they thought really he has mother to take care of him. So he signed and he came. And that day itself, one young guy who was looking for a job or something, he wanted to stay in ashrama and help the swamis and all this. He showed up and he said that, can I stay here for some time? Then he stayed and served the swami and all the things were done. Then he found the job and he said that, okay, now I'm leaving the place.
But you see, I have seen that boy who is serving him, Baba. He's always looking at him, what he says, he does that. To be a sevak is not an ordinary thing. Even our Maharaj and others, Brahmananda and others used to say, if someone is to be told to do something, what type of service? They are all watching what he intends to do with his look. What the question of doing against their will? Even not what they are expressing yet, could feel that, and they wanted to think that intensity, it is only to fulfill what he wants. That's why, because he was dependent, mother sent somebody and sent such a person, not a controlling person. And that's a good relationship till the end. So this is the very important verse, I think. We can take this verse as our one day Sunday lecture.
Yes,
what about that?
So
right.
good.
These few verses for one Sunday talk.
It's so important and no one ever talks about it.
Okay, so our time is up.
Okay,
So we have not read this book, the same, and only in another translation. This is told by Kopila, and there's we're talking to his mother. His mother's name is Devahuti. So that is the talk, the holy company, and what holy company can give, and what type of freedom it can bring. Fear can go away. We all do spiritual practice for our freedom and free from anxiety and worries. No, if anything brings fear and anxiety and worries and lack of your own ability to do the way you want, that's why it is a bondage. Why anyone should welcome that? জয় ঠিক আছে জয় শ্রী গুরু মহারাজ জি কি জয়
Swamiji, Leela had a very successful operation.
আচ্ছা
Under she's recovering, and she says it's a miracle. What happened? The surgeon.
Towards the beginning it was
She had the wrong surgeon.